Welcome to match 3. Psych! Actually, this is match 4 because the people who played match 3 forgot to record their match. And it's sad because from what I could tell when I was there at the tournament, it looked like a really epic match with a lot of rushing, roar beetles. And we won't be able to see it. It'll be one of the many lost pieces of art in this world that human eyes will never be able to see again, except for the people who played it, of course. Anyway, so who won last time was Navlik 13 versus Ratos, and Navlik 13 won. And Ratos was actually in the previous tournament. He got second place in the tournament in the first season of PBJenesis. So it's pretty surprising to see him lose as he's a veteran. But now we got our one and very only Michael.
Hey, it's me. I'm Peanut Butter.
And then we have Cable 19 on the right.
Yep.
And Cable 19 probably has less experience, so it'll be interesting to see you play. You look at all your past mistakes, Michael, or past victories.
So,
I don't want to spoil anything.
I actually don't remember how it ended up. So, as we've said in other videos, these are pre-recorded. These are not live. This is not live commentary. We're just looking at the results of the tournament and talking about it. And you can see me here trying my U.F.O strategy that I really like. The U.F.Os are just so intimidating early on. They cost 9,000, which is a big expense, so you have to sell your defenses to afford them. But I usually think it's worth it.
Unfortunately, in this version, the U.F.Os had an aiming problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes they didn't aim towards thing, and it was just the logic of the code was actually kind of wrong, because the hitbox of the UFO is different than the hitbox of like the energy shot it shoots. So it didn't always aim towards the right things. I have therefore fixed it in the current demo version that will be available in this recording. And also the UFOs actually kind of received the buff. I made them attack faster, but they're still very powerful. They have 150 HP. Putting that in perspective, like splares have 30, cannons only have 5, and then each shot from a UFO does 10 damage, and it does splash damage or area of effect.
They're pretty much
AoE.
mobile cannons, and I love them.
Mm-hmm. Like they're just, and the reason why they hatch from an egg is because they'd be overpowered otherwise. So they're kind of the slow burn strategy.
So you can see me glowing green right now. That's because I touched the center area, and that gives you an upgrade of, is it 20 banks or 10? Gives you an income equivalent of a lot of banks. So in addition to
it's like 30 banks.
Stage,
Yeah.
you want to focus on that center area. That's another component to the strategy here. The splares against.
That's pretty spooky when you have a lot of money.
Oh, what to do with all that money? You buy candy. Happy Halloween. I have no clue if
the
this will be on
horror!
Halloween. The horror! Oh my gosh, now everyone's going to leave the video because of the puns. Or they'll just love it even more. Like and subscribe if you like puns.
Or if you hate them.
Yes.
Either one.
Comment below if you want more puns. There's a lot of puns that could happen.
If you don't, we'll give them to you anyway, so...
Yeah, so...
I don't know if
But it's nice to get
that's
feedback
what
anyway. But, so Cable 19 has actually been pretty smart. He knows that, so one of the very few weaknesses of UFOs is that they're weak against bread. Because bread have 10 HP, if you notice, they're not dying in one hit.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is I thought it would just be interesting and maybe kind of funny if the bread, it's super weak, right?
Yeah.
It dies instantly from splares, only has 10 health. It's very cheap though. However, it dies instantly from splares. It does nothing, and like ants can eat through it really fast. But I thought it'd be interesting if it was good against tougher units, such as the gnomes, the kamikaze-like units, the UFOs, and the gas cannons. So in most cases, it's better to build bread. But, I'm sorry, I said that completely wrong. Most cases, it's better to build toast.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have trouble
is...
talking. Talking's hard sometimes.
Toast has a lot more defense. It has different strengths and weaknesses.
Yes.
And so I was getting kind of annoyed by how defensive he was being. I'm not used to playing against players like that. Everybody else...
Yeah, especially the power bulb strategy.
Super into rushing. Yeah, he's using those power bulbs with the cannons a lot. And the power bulbs increase the rate of fire of the cannon, So it's a lot harder to sneak in weak little units like ants and do any damage to the cannon.
They double the fire rate. But
Okay.
you have such a massive number of...
Oh, look at those ants go.
Yeah.
I love them.
The UFOs combined with the ants is just...
So,
That was my...
your favorite unit, Michael, is the UFOs, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I'd say my favorite's the ants. What's your favorite?
Oh,
ant?
wow. My favorite... I don't know. If I say what my favorite is, I will forever put a stain on people who play this game because I'm the creator of the game.
Yeah, you're not allowed to...
I love
Fair
all
enough.
of my creations equally.
you were a generous.
But I probably have a
Picking
couple
a
of
child.
biases.
It's like picking your favorite child.
I do think people tend to
no.
say I like the gas cannons a lot, but I think it's because a lot of people don't use them.
Yeah.
I think they're underrated, and I don't. People definitely use them in this tournament, but I don't think it's used as much as some other things. And so, just to let you know, like this game is very young. There's a meta game to discover. There's a lot of strategies that haven't been optimized yet. So this is kind of like the first metagame we're seeing where the direction's going. And however, this metagame is going to be probably different than the demo version because I did make some changes to it. But yeah. But Sam, you said your favorite's the ants. I think that's probably the most popular unit in general, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, I'd say, at least based off of what I've seen in this so far. But, like, yeah, no. The ants are great, though, because, like, they look really cool and creepy. They're really fast and just overall great.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of ants and flies, too, just because they're the least expensive units. Flies are 500 and ants are 1,000, so they're really good for when you're trying to rush in on your enemy or just trying to send out whatever you can afford without much money.
Yeah, ants are kind of really do set the pace. So actually, one of the... I'll talk about this now. One of the changes I did make, so in this tournament, the spawners, so the hives, the anthills, and the portals, those are the three, the top right, below the normal troops. Those are, we call them spawners, because they, every 20 seconds, at least in this version, every 20 seconds, they spawn one of their respective troop. However, in the changes I made to the demo, they spawn twice as fast. And as you see this tournament, you'll kind of see why I did that. Because they weren't as used as much as I hoped they would be. So, yeah, my goal is to make everything viable, but regardless of what you do, there is going to be a winning strategy. So the goal is to make the game fun, obviously, but I would like to make all things viable in some way or the other. However, it's a really hard balance to do. And look at all that bread there.
Much bread.
I think
he's prepared for
I think what makes this game really competitively like cool, and I think this is a key to a lot of competitive games. It's not just you have like one strategy that beats everything. You have to adapt your strategy to what the opponent's doing.
Yes. So exactly, because like if it wasn't clear before, so the flies, ants, and splares have a rock paper scissors element to them. Flies beat ants beat splares, and splares beat flies. So it depends on what your opponent's doing. So I tried to balance the game through imbalance, maybe making some things really good against one thing. But then, however, like as the game develops, I'm pretty sure there'll be some dominant strategies. But my hope is once someone picks a dominant strategy, someone will come up with a counter strategy. Maybe it's not as strong as the dominant strategy, but it's very good against that counter strategy. So we'll see how this goes along. So there's no online play for this version of the game yet. We do want to have it in the sequel, but if you have any local tournaments, record the gameplay and share it with us. And there's a lot of stuff happening in this match that we're not even talking about, like that crazy rush there.
Yeah, so I was panicking. I could see, but I only had 3 toasts and a few cannons, so I figured...
We might as well surrender.
Yeah, I figured I'm going all in, gonna build a bunch of banks and just run in and place some cannons where I can. And I think that
it would have been really great if you had a gnome there.
Yeah, I should have.
Oh.
I'm not sure why I didn't. A gnome will take out a jar, and is it a single hit or 2 hits with a gnome? Gnomes are very powerful.
Gnomes, I think it's like 5 hits 5 gnomes killed. I can't remember.
I think it's a single because I accidentally blow up my own jar with gnomes all the time. But
they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
To the jars.
But I hope placing those turrets in his back end paid off because he's rebuilding his banks now and really slowing down that front line he was pushing against.
And he should really build cannons on the corners. And that was a good psych out moment. He tried to distract the ants, and then immediately Michael comes down.
I actually did that on purpose. I'm pretty proud of that.
Oh wow! And then you're eating away all of the bread so that the UFOs can come, and it doesn't even matter. You don't even need the UFOs because ants are just hungry.
I'm pretty amazing, you know.
So
that was actually pretty tough. He was pushing back with that front line, and I was panicking a little bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they exited the video before we could see the results and see an inaccurate number of hive minds that appeared.
It wasn't me.
Anyway, you're good.
There's over 9,000 hive minds.
Oh no, is that copyrighted? No, I'm kidding.
Get this video taken down.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get the video taken down.
The Dragon Ball Z peeps will just spirit bomb this video.
I mean, the Team 4 Stars videos are still up, so I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next tournament.